The day I found out, my friend was crushing on my husband. I never thought I'd live to see the day my best friend became the villain in my story. We were inseparable, two souls who shared laughter, secrets, and dreams. She knew everything about me, my fears, my favorite coffee, even the way my husband made me feel safe when life got too heavy. But what I didn't know was that somewhere along the way, admiration turned into obsession. It started small, so small that I brushed it off. Compliments that lingered a bit too long. Laughs that seemed just a little too loud when my husband spoke. And those innocent touches on his arm when she thought I wasn't looking. I told myself I was overthinking. After all, this was my best friend. What reason would she ever have to betray me? But the universe has a cruel way of revealing truth. One Saturday afternoon, I was at home cleaning the living room when my phone buzzed. A notification from our group chat. Except, it wasn't meant for the group. It was from her, to him. A message that read, "You looked so good last night. I couldn't stop thinking about you." My heart stopped. My hands trembled. And for a moment, I forgot how to breathe. I stared at the screen, praying it was a mistake, a misunderstanding. Anything but what it seemed. But then another message came through. I wish things were different. Maybe in another life, you and I could have been something. That was it. My stomach twisted, and my world shattered in silence. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. Not yet. I just sat there, staring at those words, feeling something inside me break beyond repair. When my husband came home that evening, I was sitting at the dining table, phone in hand, waiting. He noticed my silence before I said a word. "Babe, what's wrong?" he asked softly. I turned the phone toward him, his face drained of color. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then he whispered, "It's not what it looks like." But it was. It was exactly what it looked like. He claimed he never encouraged her, that she was the one crossing the line. And maybe that was true. But what hurt the most was knowing she had been around us all this time, pretending to be my friend while secretly wanting my husband. The next day, I confronted her. She didn't deny it. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "I didn't mean for this to happen. I just fell for him." Those words cut deeper than any knife ever could. Because how do you forgive someone who broke the sacred trust between friends? I told her, "You didn't just fall for him. You fell out of friendship with me." And I walked away. That night, I sat alone in bed. My husband in the next room, my phone silent for the first time in years. I thought about everything we'd shared, every laugh, every secret. And I realized something painful but true. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the people who swore they'd never hurt you. Weeks passed, and our friendship dissolved like sugar in rain. I saw her once at the grocery store. She smiled faintly, and I looked away. I wasn't angry anymore. Just done. It's strange how life works. You can share your world with someone and still never truly know what's in their heart. So here's my question to you. If your closest friend confessed feelings for your partner, would you try to forgive them? Or would that be the end of everything? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story hit a nerve, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life confessions that will make you question everything you thought you knew about love, loyalty, and friendship. Because sometimes, the deepest betrayals come from the people we'd least expect. He caught me on a bad day. What happened next? Changed our relationship. I woke up that morning already exhausted. The kind of exhaustion that sits deep in your bones before the day even starts. My alarm had gone off late, the coffee machine refused to work, and my inbox was flooded with urgent emails that all demanded my attention. By 9 a.m., I already felt like screaming. And then, he called. Ryan, my boyfriend of 3 years. He had this habit of calling me every morning just to check in. Normally, it was sweet. But that day, I just didn't have the patience. He asked, "Hey babe, did you sleep well?" And I snapped. I don't even remember everything I said, but it was something like, "Ryan, can you not right now? I have 1,000 things to do, I'm late for work, and honestly, I don't have time for small talk." There was silence. A silence so long I actually thought the call had dropped. Then he said softly, "Okay, I'll let you go." And he hung up. I felt a sting of guilt, but brushed it off. I told myself I'd apologize later, but later never came. Because when I got home that evening, Ryan wasn't his usual self. He was quiet, distant. He didn't greet me with his warm smile or a hug like he always did. Instead, he was sitting on the couch, holding something in his hands. It was a photo of the two of us from our very first trip together. He looked up at me and said, "Do you even remember this day?" My heart sank. Of course I remembered. It was the day we got caught in the rain, laughing so hard that we forgot where we parked. It was the day he told me he loved me for the first time. But now, I couldn't even look him in the eyes. He said, "You've been different lately. Distant, cold. I get that you're stressed, but when did I become part of the problem instead of your peace?" That hit me hard, because he was right. I'd been taking out my frustrations on him, not because of him, but because he was the only one who stayed when everything else felt like too much. And I broke down, right there in front of him. I told him I was sorry, that I was tired, overwhelmed, and that I didn't mean any of it. He came closer, placed the photo on the table, and said, "I don't want perfect days, you know? I just want to be the person you still choose, even on your bad ones." That line stuck with me. Because that's love, isn't it? Not the butterflies or the laughter, but the quiet understanding that even when life gets heavy, someone still wants to stand beside you. After that day, everything changed. We started communicating differently. Instead of bottling things up, we talked. Really talked. We learned that love isn't about avoiding bad days. It's about surviving them together. And now, every time life gets overwhelming, I remember that moment. The look in his eyes. The way he chose patience over pride, love over ego. It taught me that sometimes, being caught on a bad day can reveal who's truly there for you. So, let me ask you this. Have you ever taken out your bad day on someone who didn't deserve it? And when you realized it, what did you do to make it right? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if this story hit a little close to home, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it. Because someone out there might need this reminder today. This is Confession Chronicles, where real stories meet real emotions. See you in the next one. Inviting my ex to a holiday gathering backfired spectacularly. I'm not the type to seek revenge. At least, that's what I used to tell myself. This year, I wanted peace. A calm Christmas, no drama, no bitterness, no ghosts from the past. So when my mother asked, "Why don't you invite your ex?" "It's the season of forgiveness," I hesitated. But in a moment of weakness, or stupidity, I agreed. I sent the invitation. She replied within seconds. I'd love to come. The night arrived, candles flickering, classic holiday music playing softly, laughter in every corner of the house. And then she walked in. Not like a guest, not like a friend, like a snake dressed in velvet. She hugged my mother, joked with my siblings, brought fancy gifts for everyone, except me. I noticed that immediately, but I kept quiet. After all, I was trying to be civil. Then came the moment that cracked everything open. My father raised his glass for a toast. To forgiveness, to healing, to second chances. Everyone smiled, except her. She smirked. Then she placed her glass down and said, loudly enough for the whole room to hear, "Funny thing about forgiveness. It only works when the guilty actually feel guilty." The room fell silent. She looked straight at me, then continued, "Should we really pretend everything's fine? After what I did behind your back?" My mother whispered. "What is she talking about?" She didn't stop. "Oh, come on. They should know by now. I cheated on him, repeatedly, and he still invited me here. Isn't that adorable?" Laughter, not from the family, from her. Something in me snapped. But before I could respond, she twisted the knife deeper. "You know what's even funnier? He doesn't even know how many people it was." My vision blurred. Faces around me shifted from shock to disgust to pity. She leaned closer and whispered, but loud enough for everyone to hear, "Maybe next Christmas try inviting someone with a little more self-respect." I don't remember grabbing her wrist. I don't remember slamming her glass to the floor. All I remember is my voice, cold, steady, not even human. "Get out," she scoffed, rolling her eyes. But when she saw my face, something changed. I wasn't the person she used to manipulate. I wasn't hers anymore. I said, "Get out," I repeated. Then, calmly, I opened the front door. Snow blowing in. Wind howling like it knew her name. She hesitated, but my father stood beside me. Then my mother. One by one, every family member joined me at the door. No yelling, no drama, just judgment. She walked out. I closed the door, slowly, and whispered to myself, forgiveness isn't always holy. Sometimes, it's just stupidity dressed as virtue. Be honest, do you believe in giving second chances? Or are some people better left outside in the cold? If you felt that shift, that moment of reclaiming power, hit that like button. Subscribe for more real stories that cut deep. And remember, kindness is beautiful, but boundaries are survival. The unexpected. Turn when my ex showed up at my daughter's wedding. I never thought the past would walk right into the happiest day of my daughter's life. But life has a way of throwing the most unexpected curveballs when you least expect them. It was supposed to be perfect. The sun was shining. The decorations were flawless. My daughter Emily looked radiant, her white dress glowing under the soft garden lights. I was proud, so proud. A single mother who had raised her after years of struggle and heartbreak. But just as I took a deep breath, ready to walk her down the aisle, I saw him, standing by the gate, my ex-husband, the man who broke my heart, shattered my trust, and disappeared from our lives 2 decades ago. My knees went weak. It felt like time froze. For a moment, all the laughter, the music, the joy faded into silence. He looked older, his hair grayer, his face marked by years of regret. But those eyes, they were the same eyes that once looked at me with love, and later with betrayal. I wanted to scream, to ask why he was there, but my daughter hadn't noticed him yet. And when she did, her face lit up. "Mom," she whispered, That's Dad?" My heart sank. I had spent years protecting her from that pain, never bad-mouthing him, never poisoning her mind, but I never imagined she'd actually want to see him again. She ran to him, tears streaming down her cheeks, and threw her arms around him. He held her like a man trying to hold on to lost time. Everyone turned to look, and I stood there, smiling painfully, holding my bouquet so tightly my fingers hurt. Guests whispered. My best friend leaned over and muttered, "Are you okay?" But how could I be? The man who walked out when our daughter was just 6 had reappeared. On the day she was about to start her own new life. During the ceremony, I tried to focus. I tried to be happy. But every time I looked up, I saw him, smiling at her, proud, like he'd earned that right. Like the years of missed birthdays, silent Christmases, and unanswered letters never happened. After the vows, when everyone moved to the reception, he came to me. "Margaret," he said softly, "you look wonderful." I didn't respond. Because what do you say to a ghost from your past who suddenly wants to be human again? He continued, "I just wanted to see her and to say I'm sorry for everything that word. Sorry. So small, yet so heavy. It doesn't rebuild 20 years of silence. It doesn't erase the nights I cried myself to sleep. It doesn't change the fact that I raised our daughter alone." But before I could speak, Emily joined us. She was glowing, emotional, and caught between two worlds. "Mom," she said, "I invited him." My chest tightened. She invited him. She'd found him online months ago and decided she wanted him there. She hadn't told me because she was afraid I'd say no. I looked at her, my little girl, now a grown woman, and realized something. This wasn't about me anymore. It was her day, her story, her healing. So I smiled, forced at first, but then real. I reached out, touched his arm, and said quietly, "Thank you for coming." He looked surprised, maybe even moved. For a brief moment, the years between us melted away, and we were just two parents standing together, watching the child we once made build a new life. Later that night, as the music played and laughter filled the room, I stepped outside. The moon hung low, and I could finally breathe. He joined me again, holding 2 glasses of champagne. "Remember our wedding?" he asked, smiling faintly. I laughed, a tired, bittersweet laugh. "Yes," I said, "and look how that turned out." We both smiled. There was no anger left, just acceptance. When the night ended, he hugged me goodbye. And in that hug, I felt closure. Not forgiveness, not love, just peace. As I watched him leave, I realized something profound. Sometimes, life doesn't give you the ending you wanted, but it gives you the closure you needed. So let me ask you, if someone who hurt you deeply showed up at one of the most important moments of your life, would you forgive them, or would you walk away? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you felt the emotions of this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Confession Chronicles for more powerful, true-to-life stories.
Al beleş resim çekmezsen de bir tane at. Beleş. Var abi, var abi, var abi, var abi.